What's the most prominent reason you're vegan, and why did you decide to start making videos promoting veganism? I don't think there's just really one reason why I'm vegan. It's a whole bunch of things, and it's really just comes down to it makes the most amount of sense. It's the best for my health, it improves my athletic performance, it ends animal suffering, it's better for the environment. Like, just why wouldn't I be vegan? And as far as video making, I guess I was just pushed into it. Like, there's so much fucking bullshit and nonsense being spread that I just felt like I had to make a public service announcement, really. And that's just how I started making videos, just being so fed up with all this lies and bullshit. Do you think lab-grown meat could pave the way for a more vegan society? Would this be ethically acceptable in your mind for the world at large, even if you don't choose to eat it yourself? I think it's a good thing as far as reducing animal suffering and environmental impact. I don't like the idea of it being sold to humans because it's going to cause the same chronic diseases as normal meat. So basically, you have a corporation that's profiting off of causing suffering and death to humans. And it's the same with the tobacco industry. I don't fucking like the tobacco industry because they're just making money off of causing fucking cancer. So if it's going to be used for that sort of thing, I'm really against it. But if it's used for good things like maybe feeding our carnivorous pets like cats and dogs, then I could support it, and much less environmental impact, and it doesn't actually cause the suffering and death of any animals, so it's good for that. But if people are going to eat it, I'm really against it. I'm 42 and have been vegan for 3 years. I've lost over 180 pounds, but now I want to build muscle. I need a little guidance. Any suggestions on reps, sets, and training schedule? That's fucking amazing, dude. Good for you, bro. I've made a video about this, Weight Training 101. I went over low volume, high frequency training. I think that's the best for muscle growth and strength. And programs that I'd suggest you follow are Jason Blaha's novice program, and I think Johnny Candido has a novice program as well, but I'd say check out Jason Blaha's program first. He has a video going in detail how to follow it. It's a low volume, high frequency training program, full body workouts, 3 days a week. The rep range is generally around five reps and 3 to 5 sets per exercise, around there. So check that out if you want to get into weight training, and good for you, man. That's a shit ton of fucking weight loss, and proud of you. Have you ever thought about the best of the fitness industry? I was actually planning on making a best of the fitness industry on Scooby 1961 because, a lot of his videos he promotes eating lots of whole plant foods, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, all that. And then I was researching more of his videos for that video I was planning to make on him, and then I stumbled across that vegans can't eat enough protein video, and it just turned out to be a whole nother thing. And I just don't think it's right to make a best of the fitness industry. I might make videos, talking about good things people say, but I don't think it's right to call somebody the best of the fitness industry just because everyone says things that are just so fucking stupid and harmful, and I don't want people to get the idea that I agree with everything somebody says. Why is everyone so fucking stupid? I think it's a combination of public school, religion, and fluoridated water. Beyond that, I don't really know. Maybe people are just fucking stupid, like the human race is just full of retards, but I'm not sure. I'm trying to figure that out still. If you have any, what do your non-vegan and or religious friends think of your YouTube channel? Has it gotten in the way of your personal life? And if so, how do you deal with it? I don't have any close friends that are religious. Some of them might believe in God, but it's not really a big part of their life, so whenever I talk shit about religion on the internet, I don't think any of them really care. And I do have one friend who does eat meat, and he actually does hunt. He doesn't have a problem with my YouTube channel. Like, he kind of knows me and how I think, and he just, accepts that, we think differently. And the reason I'm friends with him is just because he's honest, and you know what? He might hunt, but at least he takes responsibility for his food, which I can appreciate. And he's not a dishonest liar. He's not making up excuses for himself, so I can be friends with him. And most of my other friends, they're either going vegan or they are vegan right now, so it hasn't really ever become a problem with me and hasn't really affected my social life at all. Dr. Oz, worst of the fitness industry. Yes. How do you deal with the people who bring up the plants feel pain fallacy? The people who basically say plants feel pain too, they're trying to say that, oh, killing a plant is no different than killing an animal. And I tell them, that if killing a plant is the same as killing an animal, then I'll chop your entire fucking family up like a cucumber. What do you do for income? Well, I've been doing photography for a few years now, like 3-4 years, and I've done fashion stuff, portraits, fitness, I've shot some clubs, and that's been my main source of income up until now. Since 2 months ago, YouTube has been my main source of income. I'm still doing photography, but YouTube is making me good money, and it'll probably keep making me good money for a good long while, and I'm also planning on starting my own website, so that's going to be my main focus from now on, and that's where I'll be making most of my money. Would you ever date a non-vegan? Why or why not? It depends, and under a certain situation, I would. If somebody seems really smart, has similar kind of personality to me, similar lifestyle, same interests, then I'll be open to it, and, I'll ease them into, my life and veganism and push them towards that, but, if they don't accept things then, and start making some real dietary changes, then I don't think it can really go on. And especially since I make a whole lot of sense, or at least I'd like to think so, I just don't see any good reason for somebody who's dating me to not go vegan, at least eventually. So I date a non-vegan, but, they have to kind of respond really quickly, and they have to be like a really special sort of person to begin with. Are B12 supplements truly necessary? Don't we create B12 in our gut? Yes, they absolutely are necessary. Vegans have extremely high rates of B12 deficiencies, and it's because they don't supplement. So fucking supplement with cyanocobalamin or methylcobalamin. Cyanocobalamin is preferable, and at least 250 milligrams per day will keep you from being B12 deficient. Producing B12 in your gut, I don't think it really fucking matters, because the statistics show that vegans are B12 deficient, so don't be a baby, take your little tiny fucking pill, or just, eat some fortified foods like soy milk, and you'll be fine. Why do you have so many wigs? Well, I've started making more and more characters as things go on, and, I just need wigs for those characters, so as things have gone on and I've created more characters and written them into the scripts, I've just gotten more wigs. Do you believe animals will be liberated in our lifetime? Yes, I think they will be, at least in my lifetime, because I plan on living over 100 years, and it's not just because people are starting to realize the insane environmental harm and, getting more connected with the fucking cruelty that's going on, but I think just technology will make animal farming obsolete. I think things like test tube meat, which I was just talking about, will just get rid of the need for having any kind of animal products. Hey Richard, I want to know the 5 best excuses you made for eating meat before you were vegan, and have you ever hated vegans before you became one? I can't think of 5 excuses I've ever made, but my reasoning back then was I thought we needed meat for protein and certain nutrients to sustain our own health and well-being, and because, animals like lions kill and eat meat to sustain their health and well-being, I thought it was okay to eat meat, and I just thought vegans, they had a different code of ethics than me, and they were willing to sacrifice their own health to follow their ethics. Never hated vegans, but I was always open-minded to hearing, arguments from them, which is why eventually I stumbled across that Gary Yourofsky video, and it totally flipped my world around, and I became vegan. Is weight loss on a vegan diet about calories in, calories out, or is it more about eating the right foods in abundance, as in a calorie surplus, so your body never needs a reason to store fat? Okay, well, when you calorie restrict, it's a unsustainable solution. So when you restrict your calories, obviously you're going to lose weight, but eventually you're going to gain the weight back. And when people tell you to eat abundantly, they're not telling you to eat in a calorie surplus. They're telling you to just eat in a sustainable manner, eat at least until you're full and satisfied. And when your diet is made up of whole, low-fat plant foods, which are being proven to promote weight loss, and you're eating that in a sustainable manner, you're going to have sustained weight loss, and you're never going to just gain the weight back again. So that's what you have to focus on. It's not calories in, calories out. It's not eating in a caloric surplus. It's eating low-fat whole plant foods in a sustainable manner. Would you ever get a tattoo? I've wanted to get a tattoo for a while, and the tattoo that I'd really like to get is one down my arm that would make it look like Liquid Ocelot's prosthetic arm from Metal Gear Solid. The problem, though, is not only would that be extremely expensive and time-consuming and shit like that, but I'd be willing to go through that crap, but I want to do martial arts, and if I'm going to get hit on the arms a lot and have to strike people with my elbows, it might fuck up the tattoo, so want to look into that and see if that would be an issue, but I think if I'm going to get a tattoo in the near future, it'd be something around my neck, because I don't think anything could go wrong there. Who is your favorite vegan doctor and why? I think it has to be Dr. Michael Greger. I absolutely love his website. It's just so great for anyone who wants to learn about veganism, and it's supported by medical facts, and I really like his sense of humor. Do you ever Twitch or live stream gaming content? No, but I do want to make a gaming channel. Right now I'm just really busy, and it is something that I'd really like to do. Maybe in the future I'll make a gaming channel and I'll start streaming to Twitch, but right now, just the time constraints that I'm under, I can't really do it. Having trouble getting in a decent amount of food in the mornings to get me going, do you have any quick but generally healthy go-to foods? Oats are probably the best choice. They're super easy and quick to make. You just boil water and pour it in, and they're very calorie dense too, so if you're having trouble getting in enough calories, then oats are a great food to go to. If you were trapped on a desert island with Repsion, how would you defend yourself from his primal instincts? Well, I've got these. How are you dealing with the success of this YouTube channel, i.e. how has it changed your career, are you sleeping less, etc.? Well, things have been pretty much positive. I really do like the good amount of money that's coming in. I still do photography, so it really hasn't changed much there. The biggest issue that I've had is just free time. It really takes up a lot of my time writing scripts, shooting videos, editing, responding to fucking comments, messages, and dealing with copyright issues. I've had to reduce the amount of cycling I do, just have some more free time and relax, but other than that, it hasn't really affected things too much. I still sleep the same amount. I still get to weight train, I still get to cycle, but yeah, I have had to make some changes just to get in some free time, just so I can relax. What's your stance on eating insects? Well, they're not healthy for you. They do contain saturated fat and cholesterol, just like any other animal product, and their amino acid composition also promotes things like cancer. So as far from a health perspective, I don't recommend eating them. Are they better than meat? I don't know. I think it's pretty much the same. From an ethical perspective, I think it's a bit better. Most insects aren't exactly sentient, but I do think they still feel pain and they have a desire to live, so I'd say just leave the insects alone. Just let them do their thing and avoid eating them because they're not healthy for you. Who's your favorite Metal Gear Solid character and or games of the series? Favorite character has to be Revolver Ocelot. He's just all around badass. I love his trick shooting with his single action army revolver. He's probably like the smartest character in the entire series. He tricks people and double crosses everyone all the time, and he was even able to trick that computer system that could basically read your mind. And I love how he tortures people too. And as for favorite game in the series, has to be Metal Gear Solid 3. I loved the James Bond kind of old school 60s theme to it. I love how you had to repair like your bones and stuff and make splints and eat snakes, and the whole survival theme. And probably like the most violent game of the series so far, but I'm really looking forward to Phantom Pain. I think that's going to be my favorite game in the series once that comes out. What is your favorite part about being a YouTuber? Aside from just being able to use my own creativity and skills to make money, it's the way you make money that I like the most. You aren't finding clients, and you don't have to get the clients to pay you like I do with photography. I just make videos, and then like YouTube just puts money in your bank account, and I just like having that separation from who's paying you. I just really don't like asking people to pay me after I do a job. How should I train abs to increase my core strength, and how many days in a week should I train abs? Well, the best core strengthening exercises are big heavy compound lifts like squats, deadlifts, and rows. But if you want to do work specifically like directly hitting your abs, then I think hanging leg raises are the best exercise. Or you can get something like this, one of those ab rollers where you just sit on your knees and then roll out. These are really good for core strength. So hanging leg raises and one of these ab roller things, I think these are the two best exercises that directly hit your abs, but don't forget to do your basic heavy compound lifts, squats, deadlifts, rows. Those are the best exercises to increase core strength. How do you do all your research? I mean, do you just look for the references in books, or is there any other method of making research? I've noticed you cite PubMed a lot, so do you make your research from there, or what? And how do I read the full text? I get a lot of my stuff from PubMed. I recommend using it. It can be difficult for some people to use because the search engine doesn't work like Google, so if you just type in health benefits of veganism, nothing will come up, so you do have to be specific and use kind of medical jargon. And Dr. Greger from nutritionfacts.org references all of the research in his videos. If you go on his website, on his YouTube channel, he doesn't, but on his website, all the research referenced is there, and it links to PubMed. And other than that, full text. Not every study has full texts available, and you will have to pay for them. Sometimes you can pay for a monthly subscription to get access to some of those articles and studies, and sometimes you have to just pay per study, so it really depends. What do you think about Freely the Banana Girl saying you can smash in the calories? I remember you said in a video that if you ate like me, you would gain weight. I work out a lot, so I need it, but in some of Freely's videos, she's shown eating more than you, and she claims to not be a workout fanatic. Don't get me wrong, I love Freely and I love you, but I find the whole unlimited calories, unlimited carbs things to be questionable, thanks. Well, first off, I eat a hell of a lot more than her. I eat around 4,000 to 4,500 calories per day, where she only gets around 3,000, which makes sense because I'm a full-grown man and I have a really high activity level. But when Freely says to eat unlimited carbohydrates, you have to keep in mind she has the Raw Till 4 diet, so most of her diet is raw fruits and veggies, and raw fruits and veggies have a very low caloric density, and I've seen a lot more people fall off the wagon with veganism under-eating rather than overeating. So when she tells people eat unlimited carbohydrate calories, it's really necessary because people come to veganism, especially when it's very high raw fruits and vegetables based. They are just so overwhelmed by the volume of food they're eating that if people didn't tell them just smash in the fucking carbs, they'd undereat. Plus, a lot of her audience are made up of women who have had, passive eating disorders, and telling them, oh, you don't want to eat too much because you'll gain weight, that'll just totally fuck them up. So when I said that, if you ate as much as me, like 4,500 calories per day, and you just sit on your ass, that was keeping in mind some people just do the stupidest shit and take things way too fucking literally. I'm sure everyone's seen it, like there are people who've said, oh, I followed the Banana Girl diet or Durian Rider's diet. I had 2,000 calorie smoothies for breakfast, and then I had a huge gigantic bowl of rice with maple syrup on it, and then for dinner I had a gigantic bowl of pasta. I didn't work out, and I ate as much as they do, and then I gained weight, and they're all pissed off about it. Well, yes, if you do stupid shit like that, and you eat literally unlimited carbohydrates until you are absolutely fucking stuffed, and you're eating lots of syrup and add sugar to your cereal and have smoothies, you're gonna gain weight. But just don't take these things too literally. There's a reason why they say these things. Do you think it's right as a vegan to not feed your cat or dog vegan? There are vegan pet foods, and dogs can do very well on vegan diets. Cats, I haven't really seen any good evidence that cats can go vegan. And, I've thought about this, like, what if you go vegan and your cat or dog just can't go vegan for whatever reason? I really think it's a drop in the bucket if you feed them, like, normal pet food. Most of, the animal products industry is really just because of fucking people, and a lot of these pet foods are made just from shit and byproducts that they couldn't sell to human beings, so it's a drop in the bucket. If you can, I'd say try and feed your dog or cat vegan. If you can't, I wouldn't really beat yourself up too much about it. Like, just you yourself being vegan makes a huge difference compared to just, feeding your cat or dog vegan. The important thing is that you eat vegan and you try and spread the message that other human beings should eat vegan too. I'm an illustrator, so I spend a lot of time sitting behind my drawing board. I try to do some push-ups and exercises with kettlebells, but I feel like that isn't enough. Could you give me some advice about working out at home? The best thing to do is to stay active throughout the day, so if you're going to sit behind a desk for most of the day, I'd say take breaks occasionally and get some exercise in after like every hour or two, maybe 15-20 minutes. Try and do like circuits, jumping jacks, push-ups, pull-ups, stuff like that. Getting an exercise bike would also be great. You can do some spinning like for 15-20 minutes after like every 2 hours, and then by the end of the day you'll have like an hour, hour and a half of exercise. Could you talk about mixing cardio with bodybuilding for cardio health? Most fitness channels focus on aesthetics and say flat out don't do cardio, but you cycle, and I thought you might have some more valuable insight. Um, a lot of these people, yeah, they're totally just focused on how they look, and they're, super paranoid about losing any muscle, and they tell you, oh, if you do cardio, you're gonna, lose all your muscles. That's not really the case. You make training adaptations. If you add in like half an hour to an hour of cardio every day, you might see a dip in performance, but eventually that will go back up once you adapt to that training. If you do cardio to the extent that I do, like 2.5 hours every other day, then maybe you'll see a big drop. But if you're doing a reasonable amount, half an hour, hour a day, you're not really going to see any negative effects as far as weight training goes, and the health benefits are undeniable. Any tips on starting a YouTube channel? Well, if you want to grow your YouTube channel as quickly as possible, then you've got to make videos. You have to push them out every single day for at least like the first 2 months. You have to have content for people to watch if you want to grow your channel. Other than that, you just have to make good, interesting content. The YouTube market is super, super saturated with everything, so you have to provide something that other channels aren't giving people, and it's really difficult. So you just have to really work your ass off for the first few months, and you have to have channel content that's compelling. What do you think about the blood type diet? There's absolutely no research supporting the blood type diet, so it's complete bullshit. What are your favorite animated series? Well, for American cartoons, I really loved the Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. I think those are like two of the best. The Batman animated series back in the day. Marvel did a lot of animated series with the X-Men and the Hulk and stuff, and I loved those. Do watch a lot of anime too. Attack on Titan, one of the more recent ones, I really love. Cowboy Bebop, a bit more old school, but love that. The original Dragon Ball is probably still my favorite anime of all time. Some more recent ones too, like Monogatari and Kill la Kill, those are really good. How do you deal with asshole trolls? Trolls are just my entertainment, so I just fuck with them any way I like, and I just laugh at everything they say, and they're making me money, so why would I really get mad about anything they say? Do you have a girlfriend, or did you, and how did it turn out? I answered a question like this in the last Q&A. I've never had a girlfriend, ever. I've dated a few people, but I just never had a connection with anyone. And people say, oh, virgin gains. No, you don't have to have a girlfriend to have sex. It's fine to not have a girlfriend or be with anyone. Like, if you're not going to get something out of the relationship, then what's the point? So I'm cool with being single. What's your PC? Is it a custom build? What are the specs? Yes, it's a custom build. The case is a Fractal Design Define XL-R2. The motherboard is an Asus A99 FX Pro Revision 2. I've got an AMD 8350, two 4GB GTX 760s, and I've got 24 gigs of system memory. And I'm planning on upgrading that very soon. I'm gonna upgrade it to X99, and I'm gonna get an i7 5930K. 16 gigs of RAM for now because fucking DDR4 is retardedly expensive, and I don't really need anything more than that at the moment. And I'm planning on getting two GTX 980 Ti's when those come out. What is your view on alcohol in moderation? Look, alcohol isn't something that you should drink. It's toxic shit, and the less you drink, the better. So as long as you acknowledge you're not doing anything good for your body by drinking it, then, you know what, just drink as little as you possibly can. That's all I have to say. I don't think drinking, once in a while, like a month or two, is really going to make a big difference, but keep it to an absolute minimum. What are your thoughts on the starch solution diet? I think it's really good. I think it's one of the most accessible vegan diets for everyone, especially considering it's really cheap to just buy starchy plant foods like potatoes, corn, and rice. And it's especially good for older people because a lot of older people don't really want to just eat lots of fruit and vegetables and, you know, meals that they aren't used to. So I think the starch solution is really good, and I recommend it to a lot of people. And last question. I drink the protein shake Garden of Life Raw Protein. What are your thoughts on this protein shake? I think all protein shakes really are just garbage. They don't have any health benefits. They're just there to make companies money. If you want a high source of protein, eat beans and lentils. Those will be a lot more beneficial for you. Protein shakes can actually be detrimental to your health, especially if they're soy-based. Soy can really raise IGF-1 levels, which can increase cancer risk. So any protein supplement I just stay away from. Stick to whole plant foods. And that does it for this Q&A. Sorry if I didn't get to every single question. I can only answer so many. But I think I'll start doing these Q&A vids once or twice a month, and I'll just start a Q&A thread on Facebook so that you can submit any questions you want for the next Q&A. So make sure you follow me on Facebook for that. And of course, keep making those vegan gains, and I'll see you all next time.
Beef. What a relief. When will this poisonous product cease? This is another public service announcement. You can believe it or you can doubt it. Let us begin now with the cow. The way it gets to your plate and how.